breaking news right now on Pawn Stars Chumlee, whose real name is Austin Lee Russell.
When word got out that Pawn Stars star Austin Lee Russell, aka Chumlee, had gotten a life sentence, it shocked the viewers. No one saw coming. Chumlee, known for his laid-back demeanor and hilarious moments on the program, was unexpectedly embroiled in significant legal issues. Fans of Rick Harrison's renowned Las Vegas pawn store were captivated by Pawn Stars for years, which chronicled the intriguing world of pawn dealing, including rare items, difficult negotiations, and the daily drama that unfolded within. But things have taken a sudden and unexpected turn for the worst for Chumlee's once thriving TV career. But why was he so severely punished? What did he do to deserve it? In this disturbing case, we will investigate the circumstances surrounding Chumlee's life-altering event. Austin Chumlee Russell, a well-known American businessman and TV personality. Henderson, Nevada is the place of birth for on September 8, 1982. When he was 12 years old, a friend's dad mentioned that his face looked like the walrus from the TV show Tennessee Tuxedo, which is how he earned his moniker. He has been referred to as Chumlee ever since the moniker stuck. He became close friends with Corey Harrison when they were both children. In 1989, the pawn store that would later become the location for Pawn Stars was founded by Corey's grandfather Richard and father Rick. After turning 21, Chumlee got a job at a pawn shop that did gold and silver. Production on Pawn Stars began in July 2009, after a 5-year hiatus. Working behind the counter, evaluating products, loading stuff, and creating purchase tickets are all part of his job description at the store. His father tragically died of pancreatic cancer only 2 weeks before to the premiere of Pawn Stars. The production company Left Field Pictures is responsible for Pawn Stars' debut on the History Channel. They settled on the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, a family-run institution in Las Vegas, Nevada, as the site of the event. Whenever you needed anything, the store was open. A basic assumption undergirds the show. It chronicles the day-to-day operations of the pawn business, following the boss and workers as they purchase, sell, and assess unique goods that customers bring in. Popularity of Pawn Stars skyrocketed. It surpassed all other History Channel shows in viewership and was the second most popular reality show in television history, behind only Jersey Shore. As the show's comedic relief, Chumlee takes a lot of heat for being dim-witted. But in one episode, he impressed Corey with his mastery of pinball machines. In little time at all, Chumlee rose to the position of most beloved Pawn Stars cast member. He launched his own firm to handle his public appearances and market unique goods he created once the program became successful. In 2010, he sold Rick Harrison half of his business for over $160,000, allowing the pawn shop to better manage inventory orders. Due to his widespread acclaim, his merchandise outsold those of his other cast members. However, Chumlee's work ethic has never wavered. According to him, Rick chose to purchase a Quiznos after he had been an assistant manager at McDonald's for a while. Chumlee took it upon herself to run it, all while beginning her career at the pawn store. He toiled away at both occupations non-stop for a whole 13 days. Soon enough, when the program began to gather traction, he made the switch to working full-time at the business, and the rest is history. Rick was overjoyed by the show's success and the positive reception he received from viewers. I Lost My Head in Vegas was an iCarly episode in which he, Corey, and Chumlee portrayed themselves due to the show's fame. They have an entertaining crossover with the main characters in the episode as they work on a plot involving a misplaced object, which will appeal to viewers of both series. His comedic timing on the program has made Chumlee famous. He adds comedy value to the episode with his playful banter and frequent taunting of Rick. Their bond is genuine and effortless. That's why their viewers love them. They appear to be completely authentic. Rick has made it clear that he and Chumlee have worked together for almost 2 decades, describing their relationship as very strong, bordering on friendship. Their encounters are entertaining to see because of the contrast between Rick's serious demeanor and his lighthearted disposition. Pawn Stars' popularity is due in large part to the fans' adoration of Chumlee and Rick's camaraderie and wit. Throughout the episode, Chumlee has acquired and sold a plethora of stuff. A few were fantastic bargains, while others weren't so hot. Even though Chumlee had a lot of wonderful events throughout his life, he had also dealt with some bad ones, mostly because he was honest. As part of their investigation into a sexual assault that occurred in 2016, police searched his flat and ultimately arrested him. Unexpected findings were made throughout the search, even though he was not charged with sexual assault. Crystal meth, marijuana, Xanax, and methamphetamine were among the narcotics discovered by the authorities. The discovery of many guns was accompanied by evidence of probable cocaine usage. Additional legal problems were raised by the fact that some of the guns were not registered. The next day, Chumlee was freed on bail after his arrest. He is expected to appear in court a few days after that. Drug and firearms violations were among the almost 20 criminal accusations against him. In a plea agreement that included 3 years of probation and therapy, Chumlee's attorney, David Chesnoff, acknowledged that his client pled guilty to 2 felonies, unlawful handgun possession and attempted drug possession, all of which are classed under gross misdemeanor. Apart from the original inquiry, he faced legal ramifications as a result of drug use and unlawful firearm ownership allegations. Because they weren't registered, he had to surrender some of the firearms. He was cautioned to be out of trouble and spent his term in relative obscurity. This led to the spread of death threats and life sentences. Even though his charges were reduced to misdemeanors, Chumlee remained clean throughout the process, and they remained on his record. Many people who thought of Chumlee as the carefree Pawn Stars mascot were shocked when he breached the law. Pawn Stars Chumlee has recently had his arrest report made public. It appears more probable that he has learned his lesson, however anything may be occurring behind the scenes. Assuming he continues down the correct road, he has many opportunities ahead of him. Even the most devoted Pawn Stars viewers would have turned their backs on him after another scandal. Chumlee has created a popular candy business and is still a major player on Pawn Stars, even though he's been in legal problems. He has proven his ability to handle various endeavors by expanding his firm beyond the pawn shop into collectibles and the sweets sector. Opened in June 2017, Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard is a vintage candy business in Las Vegas that Chumlee extended his commercial activities with. Cultivating business minds. Actually, he's launching a confectionery shop in the heart of Las Vegas. A wide variety of both traditional and novel candies are available at this store. From classics like Pez and Abba Zaba to a selection of Jones drinks. Keychains with souvenirs and special items, including autographed bobbleheads, are also available at the store. Its convenient location next to the pawn shop for precious metals has made it a hotspot for customers. Both the assortment of sweets and the chance to meet Chumlee face-to-face have garnered rave reviews from customers. The shop is quite present on social media, where they inform their fans about sales and new arrivals on a daily basis. The nostalgic treats and one-of-a-kind wares sold at Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard have made the business a smashing success. Instagram is a great place for Chumlee to keep fans up to date on his life and career. He keeps trying new things, even though he's already established himself as a major player in the sweets, pawn shop, and collectibles markets. His ability to juggle many priorities while still having fun has been on full display time and time again. Chumlee made the tough decision to live life to the fullest by adjusting her lifestyle. He made the decision to confront his weight directly. He chose to reduce weight in part because his partner encouraged him to do so. Still, he aspired to be healthier overall. Just 2 weeks before the premiere of Pawn Stars, at the age of 54, his father died of pancreatic cancer, as previously stated. Because of this, Chumlee understood how critical it was to maintain a healthy lifestyle. By cutting out red meat and junk food, Chumlee began to live a healthier lifestyle. A smoothie was his daily ritual, and he was exercising 6 days a week, eating healthily, and sticking to a balanced diet. To reduce weight, he made consistent changes to his eating habits and exercise regimen, with an emphasis on improving his nutrition and increasing his activity volume. He was able to shed 75 pounds and maintain his new weight. Many of his followers have found motivation in his story of personal growth. He felt better emotionally and physically after losing weight. He made the choice with the hopes of improving his health and longevity, not only changing his appearance. So far, his goals have been met. Until he decided it wasn't enough, everything was going swimmingly for him, and he was living the good life. Once again, he was most worried about his weight. In order to greatly enhance his mobility and general quality of life, he chose to undergo a major makeover. Because of this, he chose to get surgery. Before deciding to get gastric bypass surgery, Chumlee made a deliberate choice. It was common knowledge that he had tried and failed to maintain his weight loss efforts despite regular exercise and a healthy diet. He decided that bariatric surgery would be the best option for him rather than continuing the vicious cycle of weight swings. His remarkable weight loss of 160 pounds following surgery is quite remarkable. Quite a few reality TV stars have really gone under the knife to get their weight down. These includes Angela Dean, who had a 90-day fiancé, and Tammy Slayton, who had a 1,000-pound sister and shed 420 pounds following the operation. Since he lost a lot of weight, Chumlee has been able to participate in things he couldn't before. When he eventually dropped below the manufacturer's weight restriction, he accomplished something he'd never been able to do before: ride a hovercraft. Even if his remarkable change after gastric bypass surgery was visible in 2021, his struggle to lose weight is still an important aspect of his story. Not only did losing more than 150 pounds enhance his health, but it also opened doors to new possibilities and changed his perspective on life. Even in the year 2024, you may get a wide selection of nostalgic and novelty sweets at Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard. Customers have raved about the store's selection of vintage sweets and one-of-a-kind items. On the other hand, there have been no updates to the store's official Instagram account since October 7 last year. In his most recent message, Chumlee expressed his sorrow for the loss of his dog, Forrest, showing a more vulnerable side of his character. A personal presentation by Chumlee was held in December at the candy shop, where he interacted with fans and customers. He went to the extent of announcing the visit on the store's Facebook page, urging admirers to see him in person. But nothing has changed on the Facebook page since that post in December 2023. The candy business is still open and serving customers who are looking for something delicious to do in Sin City, even if there have been no recent social media posts. Chumlee takes part in ongoing online conversations on a regular basis, updating his Instagram followers on his personal life and professional endeavors. He has established himself as a prominent personality in the sweets, pawn shop, and collectibles sectors, successfully broadening his brand beyond Pawn Stars. He has established himself in several markets through his commercial endeavors, such as Chumlee's Confectionery on the Boulevard. Along with his commercial endeavors, Chumlee frequently engages in online and in-person interactions with followers, visiting his confectionery business from time to time. In spite of his history of legal issues, he has successfully revived his career and kept his devoted fan base. Chumlee is still going strong and is always looking for new chances, even though his store's social media activity has slowed down due to television, business endeavors, or social media. And Pawn Stars Do America was one of those opportunities. The popular Pawn Stars offshoot series was the inspiration for this. Around the country in search of rare and historic artifacts with Chumlee and the rest of the cast. The show showcases interesting discoveries, such as rare comic books, old neon signs, and rock and roll memorabilia like Van Morrison's autograph. Reportedly filming an episode in Detroit, Chumlee was sighted. Michigan Live reports that April 3, 2024 was the airdate of the Detroit episode, emphasizing Chumlee's significance to the Pawn Stars series. Pawn Stars Do America took the crew on the road, unlike the first series set in their Las Vegas pawn store. They crossed the United States in search of collectors, specialists, and on-site bargaining opportunities rather than sitting around and waiting for sellers to approach them. The auction process is now more like a thrilling cross-country treasure hunt thanks to this innovative concept. Fans of history and collectibles were swept along on an exciting voyage as they discovered rare and expensive treasures at each site. Even in the first Pawn Stars season, Chumlee was a major character. It was tough to keep tabs on Chumlee's whereabouts after his controversies since he kept a low presence on social media. Also, Chumlee's personal Instagram account has been dormant for a while, so we don't know much about his present projects. As soon as he unveiled his own video game, all those questions were answered. It is certain that Chumlee is overjoyed to get his very own video game. The adventure game is titled Chumlee's Quest for Pinky. Sharing his enthusiasm for the project and reminiscing about his fondness for vintage Nintendo games, he spoke with Looper about his experience. These days, I play games far less frequently than in the past, although I do play occasionally. Chumlee remarked that playing Nintendo as a kid was a blast. I adored this game when I was a child because it had the classic Nintendo Kung Fu atmosphere. Since homebrew video games have grown in popularity, I thought it would be a great idea to make one. Independently produced video games for older gaming systems, frequently published in limited physical editions, are a favorite of collectors. I linked up with other individuals and made a very great one for them. Fans of classic video games and their collectors will enjoy Chumlee's adventure, The Quest for Pinky. Classic side-scrolling action evoking bygone platformers is on full display as players lead Chumlee on a mission to save his cherished puppy, Pinky. Problems, foes, and unexpected twists and turns await them on their journey. For the most devoted players, Chumlee hinted to a unique difficulty. Defeating the game without taking damage will provide you access to some exclusive stuff. People who enjoy Pawn Stars and collect vintage video games have nothing but praise for the game, which pays homage to the golden age of gaming while showcasing Chumlee's carefree nature. That vivacious individual returned, much to the joy of their admirers. The Pawn Stars actor posted a thrilling update from San Diego Comic-Con 2024 to his Chumlee account Collect's Instagram. Chumlee exuded an air of laid-back coolness while rocking a colorful bathrobe inspired by graffiti art from the 1980s, a la Keith Haring. He appears to have maintained his weight loss after surgery, since his physique is much thinner. Posting a photo of his newest Pokemon cards, Chumlee sipped coffee from a Japanese-themed cup with graphics of cats and mountains, one of his lifelong interests. He remarked, "San Diego Comic-Con 2024 was amazing," in his reflection on the conference. "Got to know some incredible people who have been role models for me for a long time, and strengthened relationships with others I've met more recently. I had a fantastic experience overall. Now that we're back to the week and ready to crack open some Pokemon cards, I hope to see you all at the next convention." The Pawn Stars are collected by Chumlee, a Pokemon. Robert Downey Jr.'s surprise attendance at the conference enthralled Marvel fans and made it a big event. Comic-Con gave Chumlee the chance to meet other characters he admired. He posted a snapshot of himself with 3 legendary people from the comic book and memorabilia industries to Chumlee_collects, featuring Stan Sakai, Mitsuhiro Arita, and Todd McFarlane. The opportunity to meet and engage with legendary figures in the worlds of comics and collectibles was like a dream come true for Chumlee. Following his trip to California, Chumlee continued to display his collection, which included a premium desktop set including cute Pokemon figurines. As he lounged about the house in his slippers, he appeared very relaxed. Some of his admirers even went so far as to say, "We should get an audiobook from him because Chum's voice is so soothing." Chum's update was well received. Evidently, Chumlee's passion for collecting and interacting with fans is just as potent as before. It's nice to see Chumlee making positive changes to her life. He seems to have moved on from his legal issues and is now enjoying the little things in life. After spending so much time in the spotlight, Chumlee has transformed into someone completely different. He used to get caught up in legal issues, but now he lives a more simpler life, focusing on his interests and making genuine connections. Even if Chumlee's whereabouts aren't totally unknown, he has kept a low profile in the past few years. But specifics of his Pawn Stars experience and remarkable athletic transformation are still well recognized. Over 800,000 people continue to follow him on Instagram even though he seldom posts there. Everyone will be waiting to talk to him if he decides to publish more. The fact that Chumlee keeps drawing in viewers is evidence of this. He is a one-of-a-kind captivating character because of the way he combines depth with humor. The path that Chumlee has taken has been very remarkable. He has shown remarkable resiliency during his meteoric rise from humble beginnings as a pawn shop employee to reality TV celebrity, entrepreneur, and collector. Physical and mental changes he underwent show that he is capable of changing and growing, and they prove that failures do not have to determine one's fate. Chumlee is still a popular personality, even if he has been involved in some controversy in the past. He is one of the most beloved reality TV stars thanks to his charisma and ability to connect with people. It is clear from his presentation at Comic-Con that he still likes being the center of attention, but he does it now in his own unique way. America keeps throwing him new experiences, as it does for most porn stars. As he dabbles in several business enterprises, one thing is certain: Chumlee is not going anywhere. With a fresh commitment to wellness, pastimes, and genuine relationships, people are continually writing his tale.